getting Brick on the ground. He like, die why? Brick still talking shit about he on the ground. I ain't gonna flex. He on the ground. He shot. He die why? Die why? 600K, BDK.
July 17th, 2017 was a warm Monday following a weekend of celebration for Jermaine Robinson, aka FBG Brick. While he had moved away to Las Vegas, Brick had come back home to Chicago for his son's baby shower that weekend. Reportedly, that afternoon, FBG Brick received a phone call inviting him and his cousin, Coby Mack, to visit their friend Tuka's grave. Brick and his cousin Coby sat on a porch in the neighborhood they grew up in while they waited for the rest of their friends to arrive. But on streets marked by struggle, a moment of calm can quickly turn dangerous. Suddenly, a car approached. The sight of an unfamiliar vehicle instantly changed the atmosphere. Shots rang out, and Brick and Coby were hit. This moment marked the end of FBG Brick's journey, a life cut short when it was only just the beginning. The impact was immediate and devastating. As the tragic news of the shooting spread, Spot News' real-time Twitter update painted an evolving picture of the scene. Initially, the extent of the tragedy was unclear, even to the police. The realization that there were two innocent persons, not one, added to the unfolding horror of the situation. The community began to connect the dots, fear and concern growing with each passing moment. Among those who hurried to the scene was Lashina Weekly, known affectionately as Mama Duck, FBG Brick's mother, accompanied by another of her sons, FBG Duck. She arrived, hoping against hope that the news was not true. But the harsh reality soon set in, confronted by the fact that her son, FBG Brick, and another family member had been hit.
As a parent, to imagine your child's last moments and you're not there. So that kind of stuck on me. So before they pronounced him dead, you know how the police do, they have you.
Mama Duck's grief was palpable. Her tears were a heart-wrenching testament to a mother's worst nightmare coming true. The scene on the 6300 block of South St. Lawrence, once just a regular Chicago street, became a sight of mourning and disbelief. Family, friends, and members of the community gathered, struggling to comprehend the senseless loss of life. The grief of Mama Duck echoed the sentiments of all those who knew FBG Brick, a mix of sorrow, shock, and the harsh reminder of the fragility of life in the face of ongoing street retaliations. In the wake of the tragic loss of FBG Brick, his mother and brother became vocal advocates for his case. Keeping his memory alive and seeking justice, they actively worked to raise awareness about the circumstances surrounding Brick's untimely passing. Lashina Weekly took to various platforms to talk about her son. In interviews and public appearances, she spoke of FBG Brick not as a gang member or a rapper, but as a son and a beloved family member. Her words painted a picture of Brick that was often overshadowed by his public persona, revealing the human side of a life cut short. FBG Duck, a prominent figure in the Chicago rap scene, also used his platform to honor his brother. Through his music and public statements, Duck expressed his grief and determination to keep Brick's legacy alive. In the wake of the devastating shooting that claimed the lives of FBG Brick and his cousin, Coby, the neighborhood was enveloped in mourning. But as their loved ones mourned, the police had a tough job ahead of them. Witnesses, bound by a code of silence, were initially reluctant to share information with law enforcement. So, Chicago police looked into Brick's background. In 2016, Brick had been released from prison after serving 4 years. He returned to his old neighborhood, the 63rd, and spent time reconnecting with his brother and friends, acclimating to the changes that had occurred in his absence. The streets he once knew had changed, but the gang rivalries and conflict remained constant. The connections he rekindled, deeply intertwined with the local gang dynamics, and painted a target on his back. So FBG Brick, along with his new partner, moved to Vegas. At the same time, FBG Brick was attempting to follow in his brother's footsteps in the rap game, and he had released several music videos over the past months, the most notable of which is titled Another One. But he was rumored to have a dangerous reputation.
No, honestly, see, a lot of don't understand, like, everybody think Duck, like, y'all know Duck, but anybody that really know Duck, know me, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I ain't get my name off rapping.
As the investigation progressed, the focus shifted towards the underlying gang dynamics in the 63rd and surrounding blocks. FBG Brick was a member of the Flyboy gang. FBG had emerged in the early 2000s as a notorious street gang and rap crew on the South Side neighborhoods of Chicago, especially the 63rd block. Their formation was marked by a rise of criminal activities, including trafficking and burglary, quickly establishing a fearsome reputation. FBG's influence extended beyond their immediate neighborhood, forming alliances and engaging in turf wars with other gangs in the city. The name Flyboy Gang was inspired by their desire to be seen as stylish and successful, often flaunting expensive cars, clothes, and jewelry to display their wealth and status in the community. A crucial aspect of FBG's identity was the allegiance to the Gangster Disciples Street Gang organization, known alternately as the Tuka Gang. FBG had a long-standing feud with the rival Black Disciples. Artists like Lil Durk, Chief Keef, and others. The Flyboy Gang grew to have beef with multiple other gangs in the Chicago streets, including O Block, whose territory was directly next to the street Jermaine Robinson grew up on. These rivalries fueled a cycle of street affiliations and retribution. FBG stood out in the Chicago rap scene and gang landscape for their direct approach. The gang included rappers like FBG Duck, Lil J, also known as the Clout Lord, and Billionaire Black. They gained notoriety and clout by openly dissing members of opposing gangs in their music. This bold strategy was meant to declare their presence and influence in a city full of rappers trying to get into the game. The group's members were numbered based on their entry into the gang, with FBG Brick being the 30th member.
Vegas, who the you have in the building? It's your boy FBG Brick, man. Number 30, y'all know. Number 30, man.
The FBG's approach to music and gang rivalry was a double-edged sword. While it elevated their status and spread their influence, it also dug them deeper into the world of gang rivals. Police believe that FBG Brick's association with the Flyboy Gang and his role within the group were vital to understanding the circumstances of his passing. And according to rumors, multiple beefs could have ultimately caused FBG Brick and Coby's demise. If this was true and Jermaine Robinson's location had actually been leaked, there was no telling the number of ops that would jump on the opportunity to teach the Flyboy Gang a lesson. Rumors began to circulate that a group of gang members from the 64th block, known colloquially as O Block, were behind the tragic shooting. In a response that highlighted the cycle of retaliation of these neighborhood feuds, some of FBG Brick's friends, who were still involved in gang life, allegedly took matters into their own hands. Allegedly, a series of drive-by shootings targeting O Block were committed in the week following Brick's passing. These shootings were grim additions to the unending cycle of vengeance that characterized these gang conflicts.
Bro, Brick was loved, bro. Now, dudes spin the block for any one of they guys they love, but y'all need to understand, before Brick got locked up, Brick really was out here, bro.
The police, already grappling with the investigation into FBG Brick's case, now faced an escalating situation. The potential involvement of O Block gang members in the shooting, whether confirmed or not, had ignited a perilous response, further complicating the efforts to restore peace and stability in the neighborhood. Despite the passage of time and the efforts of law enforcement, the case of FBG Brick's hit officially remained unsolved. The lack of closure has left a gaping wound in the hearts of the family and the community. However, amidst this uncertainty, Mama Duck had pieced together an account of that fateful day, relying on what she learned from those in the neighborhood.
He wasn't gonna come outside that day. He was gonna stay in the house. But he had a friend that came and got him. And so he was saying, okay, you could take me to my old G house. You could take me to my mama house, right? So if he was coming out, he was going to my house. But whoever he got in the car with wound up taking him on 63rd.
She gathered her information from the very streets where Brick spent his final moments, from the people who knew their family and knew the neighborhood. This account, while unofficial, offers a glimpse into what might have transpired, a narrative shaped by whispers and street-level insights. Mama Duck's version of the events vividly depicts what happened on that tragic day. Her story suggests that the shooting was not random, but a targeted act fueled by the deep-seated tension that Brick had become a part of. It is a mother's attempt to make sense of a senseless act, to find some thread of understanding in all of the chaos and loss. While this account may not provide all the answers, it echoes the sentiment of a community plagued by perilous acts and retribution. It highlights the ongoing struggle for justice and the desperate need for results in cases like Brick's. Tragedy, it seems, was not yet done with Lashina. In 2020, her younger son, FBG Duck, Brick's younger brother, was gunned down. The investigation into FBG Duck's hit led to the arrest of 5 gang members, all linked to the O Block gang, also known as the Black Disciple Killers, or BDK. These arrests were a significant development, not just in Duck's case, but potentially in Brick's as well. Rumors began to circulate that Duck's hit was connected to Brick's, possibly a continuation of the same cycle of retribution and gang retaliations. The arrest of those responsible for Duck's passing has brought some a bitter sense of resolution. For Mama Duck and those who loved Brick, the possibility that his assailants might have been among those arrested for Duck's hit offers a small measure of solace. But it remains to be seen if the gang members will be ultimately convinced of either hit. This development, however, was cold comfort in the face of such loss. Jermaine Robinson was more than a rapper or a gang member. He left behind 2 daughters and a son that was born after he passed away. He was a devoted father and loyal to all of his family members. Stanley Jacob Mack, aka Coby Mack, left behind 2 children. He was remembered as a funny, laid-back family guy. Both FBG Brick and Coby Mack were young men who had their lives taken too soon. R.I.P. FBG Brick and Coby.